How y'all doing, man?
Living this life, man.
It's
How
been
about
a
you, Danny?
long couple of days now.
Oh boy.
What happened? Care to shed some light on this long couple days?
Just got we got a colic baby, and
Oh man,
it's just a lot of stress. Wife needs to get a job, think about moving,
mm,
blah blah blah.
it's not
Sports
easy.
become not important.
The what?
So sports have become not important at all.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I understand. I was in the ER 2 days before Thanksgiving, so that's why we didn't do no episode 31. But
Yeah. Uh just for me, you already know, holiday, Black Friday. Then had Market Mondays live over at Madison Square Garden last night. So that was wild. Shout out to EYL, Red Panda, and everybody. Other than that, week 12 of fantasy. We get down to the wire. So I guess we'll just go ahead and talk about that real quick with the real. Oh, we have a big announcement. There will be a new fantasy league next year, and it'll be called the Roaches.
oh,
So
I
now we
like
got the
that. I
Reggie.
like that.
Now we got the Reggie, the Rillos, and the Roaches. So
I like that.
and we're gonna start doing a relegation, have a little tier system, a little ladder. This way,
So the
people can
the
be more competitive.
the Roaches is the worst league to be in, I'm guessing.
Yes, because we throw them away. Yes,
What's the buy-in on that?
25.
Okay,
And then Rillos go get bumped up to 50.
I
And then
heard that.
Reggie will actually be 100. We doing big money for the 10-year anniversary.
Okay.
Other than that, Rillos is actually pretty interesting. We got the last game going tonight, Monday night, Pittsburgh versus Indianapolis. But currently in the Rillos, nobody has secured a spot in the playoffs. Anybody could still get got. So that's why it's kind of crazy right now, bro.
I agree. I agree 100%.
You do
Before
look
we
good
start
though.
though, before we start, can we pay some bills? Can we do that?
You already know, dog.
Ayadom travel and tour. Ayadom means by his grace in the Ghanaian Fanti language, based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Accra, Ghana. They specialize in community tourism through the African diaspora. And there's just a little bit of some of the things that they've done. Basically, man, bringing people back to the motherland and elsewhere. You want to shed a little bit of light on that, Drew?
Yeah, I actually got done talking with co-founder the other day. They got their trip to Portugal planned. I believe it's January 6th through the 10th. So they got that. After that, I think they're doing another month in Spain. And then I'm already locked in for the August tour of London. So if you're trying to get signed up, $9.99, all included, everything, lodging, uh, travel, all that. So if you try,
What all does that cover? Because my wife and her girlfriends are talking about going to Europe next year. So
uh, covers lodging, covers the tickets, pretty much covers everything other than the basic stuff you'd be paying for anyway, food and all that stuff.
okay.
So I mean, obviously, but that stuff you'd have to do that anyway, no matter where you are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So, but other than that, it's pretty much all inclusive. There might be a fee here and there. Obviously, we suggest senior travel utilities such as global entry or pre-check anytime you can save time. You know what I mean?
I have a question. Is it pronounced Accra or Accra? I thought it was Accra.
It depends on where you colonize from, my brother. There's
That's the first time I heard it called Accra. That's how I say it.
well, there's a Yoruba word called akara, which is like a fried bean. So when I think of the city, that comes to mind. So I probably mispronounced it.
I don't know. I was just talking shit. But...
Go ahead, Drew.
Other than that, bro, it was kind of a little intense of a week. We had That's a little appearance. That's a little appearance for the new princess, Miss Carla.
Baby in the background.
Thanksgiving was a crazy slate. The Lions almost beat the Bills. The Cowboys ended up handling the Giants. The Vikings took out the Patriots late. Chiefs took out the Rams. Niners skunked the Saints. Browns beat the Bucks in overtime. Bengals beat the Titans. Dolphins put a whooping on the Texans. The Jets, unfortunately, skunked the Bears 21. Commanders edged out the Falcons. I thought that was going to be the opposite way. Panthers ended up really hurting on the Broncos. Jaguars sneak one out by 1 point against the Ravens. Chargers 1 point to Cardinals. Raiders get the Seahawks in overtime. And then the Eagles took out the Packers by 7 on Sunday night.
This was probably the worst week of football.
Yeah.
That again?
This was probably the worst week of football. Like all those matchups were garbage.
I did pretty well in fantasy.
Well, fantasy is different than real.
Yeah, like as far as real games, like there was a couple good ones. Like we had a couple overtime games, and but most of those were because of teams' mistakes. It's not like it was really competitive. It was one of those like one of the overtimes ended with an 80-something yard touchdown run. You know what I mean? Normally that don't. So just like I said, it was one of those weeks. It was more intense for fantasy because of all the playoff implications. But yeah, he's just talking about, in real life. It's just a little, slow week. Next week, he's going to start getting into real playoff race. Who's in, who's out, who's got the 8-9 losses, you know what I'm saying?
I was surprised to see the Falcons lose.
Yeah.
They're playing, man.
Yeah, we was both surprised. I think we both we thought the same outcome for that.
Yeah.
It's not that the Falcons didn't play well, but they just didn't win the game.
Mariota looked good, though.
Yeah, Mariota looked good. As far as week 13, I'm still boycotting Amazon Prime. I think it's crazy that they got a paywall for Thursday Night Football still. But Bills Patriots, it'll be a good game. Our rematch of the AFC Championship game against the Bengals, that's probably the biggest game. I think it's game of the week. We're favored by 2.5. We'll see. Steelers play the Falcons. That'll be interesting depending on the outcome of this game right here. They up by 13 right now.
So that's another game. The Chiefs, when the key players out.
What key players out?
Jamar Chase?
He's going to play.
He's going to play? Okay.
Everybody comes back to play the Chiefs. They got to.
Well, Matt Stafford didn't this week.
Well, Matt Stafford, that's because of Cooper Kupp. He's
Cooper Kupp didn't this week. I'm just saying.
Okay, look, I don't make the schedule. I just make the Reggie schedule. Packers, Bears, that's going to be hot take.
It's going to be terrible.
Hey, but I think for the first time, they're 4-8, y'all 3-9.
What would be interesting is, so Jordan Love, hurt his shoulder. I call it, they're running him around stupidly, even though the season's over. And I don't know if Jordan Love's going to play or not. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers has a rib injury now, too, and a broken thumb. So that would be interesting.
Well, yeah, and especially because is Justin Fields going to be playing?
I don't think so.
Who did I say?
I think you said Jordan Love.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Justin Fields hurt his shoulder, not Jordan Love.
Yeah, when you said Jordan Love, I'm trying to think, who the hell is that?
Justin Fields hurt his shoulder. The coach is running him around stupid, but.
And you got the Lions versus Jaguars.
You got baby brain right now, Dan. That's all good. I ain't mad at you.
Then we got Commanders, Giants with the NFC least game, probably of the week. It should be good. Both got.
Isn't Washington's in it, though?
Washington's 7-5. That's what I'm saying. So it's going to be interesting. Titans, Eagles. That'll be good. Ravens, Broncos. We only hope that the Ravens could do their job. They couldn't beat the Jaguars, but we'll see how it goes.
Broncos look awful.
Browns, Texans. That's probably the worst game next week. Seahawks, Rams. Seahawks should have that. Dolphins, 49ers. That's a good one. Chargers, Raiders is never not entertaining. And then you got Colts, Cowboys on Sunday night. I don't know how they pulled that off. And then Monday night, you got Saints, Buccaneers, which is always a good. So it's like I said, we started getting to the nitty gritty. We getting into the end of playoff or the end of regular season for fantasy, but we get into the real nitty gritty of the real season. And it's going to be interesting, man. It really is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looks like I'm going to get another W in fantasy. Well, we'll see.
Let's see who you have, man.
I'm worried about this Reggie W, bro. My God.
Guess I should have listened to you all these years, Dave. Kept telling me to do it.
I know. And now look,
Now look at you, right? Now you
you
addicted.
love it.
Yeah, you addicted now. You gonna be doing research. He gonna be like, actually, so and so only averages 9 points a game.
And you're playing a girl next week, so maybe you'll win. I don't know.
Actually,
Who am I playing next week?
you playing my homegirl Anya. Shout out to her. She's actually pregnant right now, so you're gonna be playing 2 people next week.
I heard that. I ain't gonna be
So
betting
you
against her
idiot.
then. I might as well be losing.
So yeah, you gonna get jumped next week. And then yeah, bro, we getting down to it. Nobody in Rillo's has secured a spot. So there's gonna be a lot of asterisks handed out at 3 a.m. tonight. So it's gonna be interesting. As far as real news, something that doesn't really matter. The Chiefs signed Melvin Gordon to the practice squad. It'll probably just be for depth or if anybody gets hurt. Not the biggest deal. But
I mean, I like his stats though, man. I'm like, dude has caught a lot of passes, 25 passes in 10 games.
I mean, with Clyde Edwards-Helaire get hurt, I feel like bringing in a AFC West veteran like that is just, like I said, it's a depth move.
Yes, sir.
You know, got to keep your enemies closer. You know what I'm saying? So bringing in Melvin Gordon, who's played for the Chargers and the Broncos.
He's washed.
Oh, no, he's super washed. I don't want him on my team. But, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you bring in people just for a little bit of information. We still got 2 Broncos games coming. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So maybe he's just a little salty. He might want to, you know, season the pot a little bit.
I heard that.
Deion Sanders got offered the job in Colorado.
Do y'all think he's gonna take it?
I think it's interesting because the way he talked at first, you know, you're rooting for him, like, oh man, why are you leaving an HBCU? But he said he needs to go to one of these, you know, power conferences so he can pay his staff. And you know, his staff he's still supporting young men of any color, you know, and their dreams. So it makes sense to me.
I mean, I agree with you, but I'm just thinking of all the young black athletes that came there because of him. And are they gonna follow him to wherever he goes?
I think so. Especially with the way, I don't know how the transfers are. I think you can do like next year, right? You don't have to wait or anything with the NIL stuff.
Yeah, I know it has to deal with like the transfer portal. I don't know if it moves for each individual athlete, but I know that there's that part of it.
Okay.
Beyond that, the MVP race has gotten spicy. With only 1 touchdown thrown, Pat Mahomes takes 1 step back, and with Jalen Hurts playing so well, getting the Eagles up to 40 points, he's taking a couple steps forward. Pat Mahomes is still the favorite to win MVP.
I thought Justin Jefferson won the most MVP votes.
Oh, I thought somebody threw in Tua's name in there.
Yeah, Tua was the number 1 quarterback, so this is all smoke. And Justin Jefferson has gotten the most.
Rod just checked Caesar. What is he talking about?
Right, Caesar's betting on it. But right now, the most votes for a player to win MVP from the people is Justin Jefferson.
All right, and we'll see, and we'll check in on that story later.
All righty.
We'll monitor the situation. Because he leads the league in pass touchdowns, passing yards, QBR. I don't know what else. His team's in first place in AFC. So, you know.
Speaking of quarterbacks, motion to dismiss filed by Brett Favre against the state of Mississippi. What y'all think about that? Thoughts? We got 2 minutes.
Get him.
That's you know what? It's a convoluted situation. Now Favre is, you know, I guess his lawyer team is kind of playing dumb, I guess, where they're putting the blame on the state of Mississippi. And
isn't it the state that appropriated those funds?
Yeah, and I think there is blame.
I'm not defending him. I'm not defending Brett Favre. Right. But by all means, isn't the state culpable? They decided to pay the man.
If they were tricked, you know, then like who's at fault, right?
But that's his argument. He didn't trick anybody. He didn't lie about what he was going to do. They knew what they were paying him for.
Look, we're given, like, people are saying that, right? And the fact that I think he has the privilege to even make that argument because of maybe his skin color and his money, when really this man has done nothing good in the past. He was a drug addict in Green Bay. He was addicted to painkillers. He was sending dick pics to team affiliates and representatives. think there was some drinking thing. I can't remember. So I mean, he's shown over and over again he's not like this upstanding citizen. And here we are. Now it's like his word against the state of Mississippi.
What are your thoughts, Drew, before we go?
Man, there's two states to this day. I just think that they're decades and decades behind, and that'll be Mississippi and South Carolina. So to me, I feel like this is just one of those situations where like we're lucky to have media because I like the media how we have it now, like new media, being able to pub. Because think about if this kind of thing happened in the 90s, you would have never heard about it. You know what I mean? Because we barely hearing about it now.
Yeah.
So imagine if we didn't. So I mean, it's a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing that we can shine light on something that's in this situation, especially in a state like I said, Mississippi, man. You know what I'm saying? The middle and the poor people in Mississippi is not getting no, they're not really getting no help. And then to see that the state is actually stealing money and then that this dude might be involved, you know what I mean? And then it leads to that kind of lifestyle. People committing petty crimes, probably picking up charges because they're getting robbed in the first place. So it's like you said, it's convoluted. There's layers to it. It's all messed up. And he should be held accountable and they should be held accountable in some way.
That part. Both of them need to be held accountable. And with that said, we'll wrap up this pre-show. See y'all soon.